Because there's no intro. We don't need that. We do not need that. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to this live. We will be getting into Handsome Devil Charming Killer tonight. Whole lot to talk about here with this one. I, for one, did not know anything about this man prior to this doc, but I feel like I should have because he was real viral for the wrong things. Be sure to hit that like button below for us and let us know if you're having a good time. Have you seen the doc? How'd you feel about it? Was it good? If not, it's available on Paramount for all to see. You might can get a quick little breakdown on TikTok at this rate. But gonna bring out my girl to see if she's ready to talk all things Wade Wilson. Ashley, how you feeling? Are you ready?
I feel good about me and about life and about today. Do I want to talk about this lunatic? I really don't. Do I want to talk about his hoes? I really don't. Do I want to talk about the fandom of it all? I really don't. But alas, we are here. And I'm ready to discuss it, Tyra. I am. But I don't want, if I ain't never had to hear this man's name again, it would be too soon.
Actually, you told me to go over there and watch it. You said it had you upset, and I had to go see it, and then I couldn't just watch it and let it go by. Then I feel like we watched it for no reason. Overall thoughts: Handsome Devil, Charming Killer. This was a moment. I don't know, and it's not like we don't know that serial unalivers are a thing or we haven't seen something like this. I just haven't really checked in with it modern day. I feel like we get kind of desensitized because now it's like a profitable thing. Shout out to Ryan Murphy. But we're going to take our serial folks and it's going to be a book, a movie, a show, a Netflix drop, a Ed Gein and girl, what's that man's name?
Dahmer,
The Menendez boys. Like, it's just a thing. And a lot of those unalivers are of a certain era. So just to get here and kind of have a modern day situation and have that tied into the climate and the culture of now as far as fandom and how it spirals and what that looks like is wild work. This was sad. This was very, very sad. And he's exactly where he needs to be. But I'm not mad I watched it. It's good to know who your crazies are. Ashley, overall thoughts?
This vexed my spirit, Tyra, and it's not often my spirit gets vexed in this way. And I think it's what you're saying. It's been a while since we've had serial unalivers made into like celebrities. As far as my knowledge, I just really got into true crime probably over the last 2 years or so. And so the things I remember were like the Mansons. I remember like reading articles, seeing thousands of documentaries about the Krays and all the women, the wives, and all of that, and how they would perpetrate his things. But I think to see it present day, like literally within the last couple years, and the fact that a woman or women, multiple, can see these heinous, atrocious things that this man has done. And because he's over a certain foot tall, he's over 6 feet tall, because he has a full hairline, y'all think he's something special to jump up and down about, and all the other women be damned. I don't know if it was just his crimes, which were awful. Looking into his black, bleak eyes was terrible. The fact that he sat up there with a grin during testimonies of these families who lost these, people that can never be replaced. I think just seeing it present day and seeing him have a fan club, seeing these hoes put hundreds of thousands of dollars in a GoFundMe and buy him all the commissary, like it literally just disturbed my spirit so much because it makes me wonder how callous as a society we have become. Like that this is mainstream. The fact that he has copycat people out here, it just was so disturbing to me, Tyra. I was like, I never want to talk about it. I never want to look at him again. I never want to think about this. It really just disturbed me.
Oh man. Thank you so much, Jane, for the super chat. I was called a lady killer in my day, but not like that. Sup, ladies? Hey, Jane. We all know ladies love Cool James. We all know the ladies be over there all about Jane. Thank you so much for the super chat. But starting it off, I actually said never, 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 never. I ain't need to see this. I ain't need to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it because I don't know. It's easy to just become so desensitized and forget that these things and these people exist. in this way. And unfortunately, it's just not a spotlight being placed on Wade. Everybody else who's surrounding him, like it's disturbing, but in a good way that other people should know, so you can be wary of folks. But we know we starting off that first episode, the manhunt episode, and we meet Mila and her current boyfriend, Wade Wilson. Mila's a choice here. The first episode and how much time we spent with him being apprehended and the questioning, just in the climate right now where we see people get handled for less and get pursued for less, and he's just kind of, there's all the patience in the world for this man. And him, partially rolling down his window, the back talk, the suspicion, the moving on his own, whatever. But we're in this bar with Miss Mila and her boyfriend. An assault occurs. She's beat up, and her car is missing. And of course, we have things unfold after that. But the main thing I took away from maybe the first 15 minutes was his history. Because you have Mila kind of just professing, oh, he was just so attractive. He looks so good. I love a bad boy. Oh, it was the dimples. It was the tattoos for me. It was the height. But yeah, he's also, known for having really violent tendencies, abusing me, lots of open cases and a drug problem. But yeah, that's my man, my man, my man. And of course, we have this situation occur here at which she is already in a reluctant place, and oh babe, I'm gonna drop those charges. And they tried to come pursue you, they tried to come apprehend you. Yeah, I'm gonna drop that. uh Spotlight on him, but spotlight on Mila as well in the very beginning, because why would you put yourself in this situation? And we know why, but it's just so hard to sit and watch it. But we do realize that with everything kind of unfolding, he already had pending charges in cases just open prior, and he also has ones with her. And there's a case of constantly dropping these charges and going to pick him up or being there once he gets out. And there's just talk of, oh, you're going to get him again? Well, it's kind of increasing. Are you sure? It's just kind of a ticking time bomb. And it feels like we're playing with each other's lives, especially hers. Actually, what did you think about the opening here and meeting Mila's boyfriend, Wade?
Again, I just, well, first, and and this is the initial impression, seeing him for the first time, I was like, I don't get it. This is the handsome devil. Like, this is the one so handsome that he's charming all the hoes. Like, and that's what's happening. So there was first that, but then also, and I'm gonna try to be sensitive to the fact that, there really aren't ever any perfect victims. And while I can't stand Mila's ass, and she pissed me off so bad in this documentary, at the end of the day, she was a victim of DV for however long they were together. Like, the pictures we saw of her, this man regularly beat the brakes off this lady. And then compound that with not only his drug addiction, but I believe that she was on the dope as well. She gave very much crackhead energy also. But it was just like that there were so many things had to be in alignment for him to actually go on this spree that day, that I can't help but hold her partially responsible. The fact that he had told her about his ideations, things he said he'd done in the past, things he said he wanted to do. And she said, oh, I thought he was BSing. Ho, you move. PSA, when a man or woman talks to you about their homicidal ideations, things they dreamt about, things they did when they were a child, things they want to do, call the police, change your number, and move locations. You don't stay there. You don't stay around this. I don't care how straight his little teeth are. I don't give a single damn. But no, I feel like even in the relationship dynamic with Mila, it was very much more about, you cheated with her, you slept with her, or like, you were supposed to just do this. Why did you do this? And it made it almost seem like Mila didn't give a damn. A lot of the conversations that we saw, and we see later from one of his other wives, it was like she sat in the courtroom, saw the victims, and could actually put a face with a name. So she began to empathize. I don't believe Mila ever empathized. I think she was here because she had to be. I think they probably subpoenaed her to testify. Oh, yeah. I also think she knew after she discovered what he actually did, it was a matter of, if he gets out, he could probably do this to me. I think this was about her self-preservation solely. I don't get that she was really concerned ever about the victims of his heinous crimes. And it's one thing to be in your own DV world together, But when you are capable of preventing him from harming others and you don't do that, I can't help but partially hold you responsible to this, Tyra. Like
I don't
I
know if I can. I don't know if I can hold her there. It will be different if it was like some rose colored glasses and she just was oblivious to his prior history. She's going to pick him up and was all well aware. We have great charges
Mhm,
already.
mhm.
That's another thing, especially leading from the beginning to him even working up to police being really in pursuit and him being apprehended, just how we were just so lax at, oh, he's pulling off. Well, we were always taught to really not pursue, so run off be damned at really right. And then we have a passerby or just your random pedestrian. Like, I see someone here, they're irate, they're displaying weird behavior. Can you guys come here to this location right now? I believe his name is Wade and he's driving X, Y, and Z. Of course, we get there and he's missing. Like, other people are doing, the public is doing the work. We weren't trying to get this man.
No.
Mind you, sitting here in this car, and from the time that we've left the bar and we beat up our girlfriend, and the following day we had already took someone's life, and he's just going, and it's just like all these things have to align. So by the time we get to Miss I thought I could fix him. Oh Jesus. Already prior to this, grave charges, robbery, assault, kidnapping,
Mhm.
everything. And you said you thought you could fix this man. She's crazy.
She can't
She's
even fix her
crazy.
hair, Tyra. She can't even fix them raggedy extensions. How's she gonna fix this grown man? You can't even.
Can't. I just, we get into the pursuit and we go and pick her up because at this point we've recognized that, okay, this is the girlfriend's vehicle that we were seeking. He's not here in it, but this is tying to an open case currently from someone who said that their friend or their girlfriend or whoever was missing, and we've entered the house and she's dead. We get to her. Oh, your car was here, clues here, X, Y, and Z, body. Oh my God. He always, well, did he ever say anything to you about it? Did he ever say anything about harming someone? And all the time. All the time. He would talk about strangling people. He strangled me and beat me and just watched me one night. And there's a darkness there, but I can't believe he really hurt someone. They always told me that he would if I kept picking him up from jail and supporting him. I was like, oh God. Oh, I was like, why? And she's just borderline in tears, but in the way that they're like, oh, he hurt someone. Oh my God, is she dead? It's like, yeah. Oh my, well, have you found him? I was, these are the complacent ones. This isn't just that state of victimhood where you're just so worn and battered to where you can't come from underneath it. She loves this man to the point like you're an accomplice. You'd hide a body. You take a charge. That's where this is where you are. This is wild.
Yeah, it was very much, and of course, I know we'll get into the calls, but if you guys don't know, because we did talk about it, they go out clubbing the night before. He takes her car, I guess, which is par for the course because they're both high off dope. He goes, unalives a woman. That morning goes to her spa, whoops her tail, tries to leave. The police
Unalive
actually
her.
come, talk to him, and he's like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Drives off, and they don't even give chase, y'all. It's very much like, we'll just let him go. In the meantime, he harms a completely innocent woman, not harms her, destroys her, and then goes and brags about it, right? So that's where we're at. But no, the phone calls that they had in the jail told me exactly who Mila was. And again, I'm not victim shaming or victim blaming. I think
Shame
that's
her ass. Shame her ass.
my
No,
my
no,
thing is
this ain't that.
she got on the phone with him. And it was very much like, well, why didn't you just rob her?
Why
Now you're
didn't
going to
you
be
just
gone
rob her?
forever. Now you're going to
You
be
were.
gone
She
for
said you
life.
were in the clear. We were in the
Yeah,
clear to live our
yeah.
best life. Why didn't you just hit her? Why didn't you rob her? Why did you have
Yeah.
to unalive
Yeah,
her?
because
That's
now we can't be together anymore. Now I can never be with you. You're going to be in there forever, and I can't be with you. That's very much what the call gave. That's very much what the
yeah.
call gave.
Yeah, even sitting here, a lot of the women here in the doc give that they're still proud to just be associated with him
Mhm.
and be in the light. And I can once say that I too was one of the, what is it, the Wade wives? Like, weird behavior. Let me read these super chats before they disappear, child. Thank you so much, Demarcus, for the super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see what's here. Demarcus, once again, who would y'all say is a better actor, Morris Chestnut or Jamie Foxx? Ashley?
I like them both for different reasons. I think they're very, very talented. I would say Morris Chestnut. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Jamie Foxx is more well-rounded. He's a comedian. He's a singer. He's an actor. He's all of those things. But Morris Chestnut is a solid actor who's been around for a long time.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go over there with Morris for just acting
Mhm.
solely. I'll go over there with Morris, baby. I don't
As
think
much
Morris
as
has been called to his highest
I was
honor
trying to
yet.
say, as much as I love Morris and all the potential that's there, Morris has never gave us like an Oscar worthy moment or like a Ray. I can't play.
He hasn't been given the opportunity, but I think he's
I
capable.
know, but that's unfortunate. I'm sure he is, but just off of the options, I gotta go with Jamie. I have to go with Jamie. Thank you so much, Demarcus. Will y'all check out Moses the Black today? Actually, will you be checking that out?
Not today, but I'll definitely be watching. You know, I got to see Omar. I'm going over there.
Omar. Who's
Omar
Omar?
Epps.
Oh, you
You've seen
gotta
the
see Omar
previews for
Epps.
Moses the Black. You're going over there.
You gotta see Omar Epps, really.
Yeah, isn't that who it is in that movie?
I don't know. I ain't never said like I gotta see that. Omar Epps.
Yeah, I'm going over
I
there.
never said that. I'll check it out if Ashley does. But getting ahead here after she's in her body because they always said he always said he would. It was the extra verbiage on acts that he's had in the past, not just this unalive minded or the physical acts that he's done to her. But yeah, he told me about this one time, like no face, nobody, no case. He slit somebody from chest to stomach and threw them in some gators and they ate him. And there was this one time where he was sleeping with this man and he was gay and he threatened to tell people, so he took him out. And I just thought he was joking. She said, I thought he was joking like men do. What? I don't want to say we're spending any more time with Miss Mila, but after the incidents occur and eventually we get to the trial later, she is one of the few women who, in the moment, because Mila was very much so supposed to be a second, third, whatever victim. He was trying to get with her, get back with her, and babe, I'm sorry her to death. He actually tried to attack her. The only reason that he
Mhm.
didn't get away with it was because this was broad daylight in front of her business and people came out. I think one of her friends came out, called the police, and it was just one less person who unfortunately got away with their lives. But due to that, she's able to testify on these victims' behalf, and it's very bittersweet because she's claiming to be so sympathetic and understanding and the victims, the children, this was very hard. I see him, she keeps referencing him as, he was just so dark, I couldn't get to him, it was this darkness in his eyes, and I knew that. And it was like she was coveting these women in a way that I didn't like because she kept referencing, like, why wasn't it me? I can understand if he had unalived me, but them, he didn't even know them. I was like, girl, what? What? But in the same breath, she's just here against her better judgment because, baby, they called her to the court in the carpet. She didn't want to testify. She didn't want to give any statements. She had to. As far as she was concerned, she had to go down there and just demean the love of her life and confront what he did to her and these victims. And I'm just glad that I could do it because at the end of the day, it was about these women and not about me and about him. I see him for what he is. Yeah, but at the same time, you still accepted those phone calls. You still kept an open line of communications. You still talked. He still babed you to death over a phone. Girl, you probably sent him money. Like, I don't know. How did you feel about her testimony here and her being sympathetic to these victims? She was like, I was the only one who could speak on their behalf.
I mean, I will say this, at least she did get up there and they said she was one of the best witnesses for the prosecution. And I do think that her testimony helped seal the deal. I think it was going to be open shut anyway. We knew what it was. You had confessions, like you had said it on the popo phone like an idiot. Like we knew that was all coming through. I think what I didn't like was that after all was said and done, and she got her licks while he was on the outside with her, but it was this idea that now she's a victim because his fan club was now attacking her after she
Yeah.
tested. And I didn't think I'd have to deal with this aftermath of all of this. And I'm like, baby, people lost their lives. Kids lost their mother. Like this other lady lost the possibility of any kind of future she would ever have. Like, girl, that's what really pissed me off, because what you're not going to do is look at this whole entire situation and think of yourself as the ultimate victim in it.
Yeah, something about it was very performative for me. I didn't want her on the stand. I didn't want her testifying, but unfortunately it just had to be her because she was the one who got away, and I don't want anyone to lose their lives. But I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her. Any two ways, if he had come to her and they could have gotten away with it scot free, as she said, we were out in the clear, we were scot free, and you had to go and do this. Why couldn't you just rob her? That's no friend. That's no victim. Like, girl. But I'll get into our first one here. We have it says Christine Wilson, but it's Christine Milton. I don't know why they went to Wilson, but this was hard. Like, and this is the reason I wanted to discuss it, because I know in a lot of spaces where you try to communicate to friends or others or whomever, girl codes or um everything is just looked at under the guise of being promiscuous and judging. If you were to say, be careful, like, when you first meet someone, you just never know people, or it's like you can't say things anymore without someone feeling like you're shaming them, or, I'm a woman, it's my prerogative. But we have Christine Milton here. Same bar, the Buddha bar just must have been on fire because this is where everybody was located. Meet him, and in this same night, just out with a friend, like any other random night, he takes her home to her home, and from what he says, they have consensual sex. I don't believe nothing that comes out of his mouth. I don't care. And of course, this leads to strangulation, amongst other things. And he had plans to dispose of her body, but we just end up kind of masking and hiding it in her place because she was just oh so heavy. But this is kind of the start of his spree outside of getting physical with his girlfriend and taking her car the night of. And then, of course, we have him try to get back to her and hurt her. The cops call. And then, of course, we get to our second victim. But actually, how did you feel about Christine Milton in the way that she met Wade and kind of how this night went for her?
What I will say in how they presented this portion of it, I was glad we got to hear from the friend as well, because it
Yeah.
wasn't like Kristen was out alone, just being hot in the pants. It was like they were having,
Yeah.
and even if she
Yeah.
was, damn it,
Fine.
that didn't justify anything. But I do like that we had balance and we had a witness there. Like, yeah, no, he seemed like a great guy. He came over, he was charming. Like, I felt super comfortable with him. Like, I was happy for her. I was like, go girl, like,
I
get your
don't
group
know.
back.
Actually,
Like,
that's hard for me. I don't feel that off of him. And
that,
even outside of this information, just in his like exchange with the women via the phone or just how he's talking, I'm like, this
yeah.
isn't charming. What's charming?
No.
I think people just found him attractive and he was tall.
He was tall, girl. That's all it takes these days. I think he had straight teeth, a full hairline, and he was tall. I think that was it. But the friend was like, "Yeah, girl, you gotta, do X, Y, or Z." And so, and as far as the consensual sex, I don't believe it. I think in the police report when they're talking about it, they say that whatever was done was post mortem. So,
Yeah.
like, let's move that outside of there anyway. His crimes, in my opinion, were not motivated by lust or like
No.
desire. This was about hating women, hating his mama. I think that that's what it all stems from. But no, I really hated this for her, because I think you do let your guard down, especially when you have a friend who's
Yeah.
supposed to also, be a second set of eyes. Well, if I approve and she approves, like
Mhm.
this, we should be good to go. Like, and it's hard to think about people who don't have discernment, but some people have literally no discernment whatsoever, and so this can happen. Again, I hate this first. She thought she met a nice, handsome young man because he liked older women. He liked
Yeah.
older women who presented a certain way. And I believe that she just thought she was going to have a fun time and ended up losing her life in a brutal, horrific way. And also, it kind of goes into the fact that I agreed with the capital unaliving charges,
Yeah.
because you had the wherewithal to quote unquote charm her at the
Mhm.
bar, but when you get home, you automatically snap. You had the opportunity to talk to the police levelly. Like, he wasn't screaming or hollering, acting like an imbecile talking to the police.
Mm.
And then you went and you raged again. This was part of his psychopathy, in my opinion,
Yeah.
and whatever mental disorder he had. But I hated this for her. And I think she was only 35.
Yeah.
This was a
This was
track.
premeditated. If
Yeah,
you can go and cut it on and, even get into those Joker tattoos and the permanent smile on his face, like this was a game. This was, if Daddy wouldn't have done what he did, he would have just kept going.
for
He would
sure.
have kept going. Like, this was just messed up, but I did want to be honest about how I felt about it, and because you can never be too sure about people, even if you are with friends. And the friend was very proud, like, hey girl, like, he
Go
said he want
girl.
to talk to you, like, like, it's important to practice discernment and patience. And even if I do find you oh so attractive, I might not want to go home with you or have you in my home. I just not right now. Like, it's just too much going on to just be
You're dangerous right now.
it's
It
just
is.
dangerous to automatically trust someone. And I just hate that people immediately let their guards down because someone is attractive, because that's the only reason to. Because if someone looks a little seedy and shady, or according to Ashley, their hairline's receding, something's going on. Something's going on with him.
Oh
Get him
God.
out of here. He looks shifty, but like you said, full hairlines, teeth and height, and some tattoos and some dimples, and him just being the charmer. Because he said that was his pride and joy. That's what I'm good at. If I can't do nothing else, I can charm the panties off of a lady and get my way and get anything I want out of her. That's what I do. It's easy. For who though? Like,
Yeah,
be mindful that he was picking a certain type of woman. I'll say that
absolutely.
to you.
And
He
that's
knew
what he
who
said
to.
when it came to Kristen. He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah." So she was all in my face, flirting with me. It took me home. You see what happened to her? Like he. This was methodical. That he was used to this. He's probably done this before, and I believe he's caught bodies before. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
they know or have found those bodies, but he's done this before. This wasn't his first rodeo.
Now, where we have Kristen Milton, and I was glad that we did have a friend there to speak. I think we had two friends to speak on her behalf, especially when we went through the images, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is really really sad. Just kind of reflecting on who she was. With Diana, we had family. We had her fiance. I believe we had her father, and we had her sons here speaking. Whether it was older footage or this was so sad. Oh my gosh, this was so sad. I really felt for her and felt for her son. um Something completely, once again, because it was like this wasn't these premeditated things. That's why I'm like, all of the insanity pleas of it all, or whatever direction you're trying to take, you were premeditating these things. Well, we have something happen to Kristen, and we met in the bar and there was sex and I took her home. With Diana here, Diana was in walking distance from her job and just decided to stop. Like, oh, he looks safe and cool, he asked me for directions, but oh, I can't find it, can you get in the car and show me directly where I need to go? And her trying to be a good person, oh sure, oh god, I'll get in the car and help you, sure. And he, proceeds to try to rob her, because mind you, this is an addict at this point out of everything else, but that wasn't enough. He tried to strangle her as well, but and throw her out of the vehicle, but he could see that she was still alive, and we proceeded to run her over multiple times until, in his words, she just looked like spaghetti on the ground. Awful. This was awful. Looking at this time up here and the way that things happen, at 7:10 a.m., we committed the crime with Kristen. By 9, we were over here with the current girlfriend, Mila, abusing her. We couldn't get to her or harm her in that way because people called and saw. So then we go 45 minutes elsewhere and we capture Diana. This is wow. This is a day. This is a morning. Have you? This is a morning. If he was not stopped, this just would have went so much worse. I was really sad for her, trying to be, a nice person and give some directions, and we end up losing our life. I believe that this was the one where the ex, so why couldn't you just rob her? Why'd you have to do that? Like, because that's also a part of his MO. But the way that someone could flip on a dime and just do this in a span of a couple hours in a morning, this is very, very wild work. Actually, how did you feel about this? Because once the husband and the son spoke, I couldn't take no more.
Yeah, this was terrible. And from all accounts, Diana was just a mother, like you said, a fiance who loved her family, who loved the people around her, who loved to smile. I think what was most touching, of course, is hearing her son because I believe he just had a birthday, and how he had tried to self eliminate after this because he didn't have a mother anymore, and how he
Mm.
had never taken pictures and now he regrets it. And I think they pull up like one picture that he had let her take of him, and how he'll go the rest of his life not knowing. We hear that, of course, why did you have to take her out? We also heard that from the dad.
Yeah.
That she had children, she had a child, like, that little boy is messed up now. You have to tell them because that was the other thing with Diana. He refused to tell anybody where her body was or her
Yeah.
remains, because there wasn't much of a body left. But he wouldn't even say her remains without a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I thought this was the most tragic because, of course, she didn't have any interaction with this man. She was just going about her regular daily life, like you said, trying to be a good or decent Samaritan. And this was the thanks that she got for it. Seeing her fiance testify, he couldn't even keep it straight. He was so broken behind
Mhm.
this. It's just terrible. I just hate that people like this in the world exist and cause this type of harm to people. Like, she didn't deserve it. None of them deserved
None
it,
of
but
them.
this was
Yeah.
just especially heinous to me. And like I said, seeing her baby up there on the stand, that just really, really, and the way that the whatever his name is smirking at this little boy. He's kind of constantly got this smirk and this grin on his face as everyone's testifying. No remorse, no compassion, no empathy, nothing at all. And I just thought this was terrible. This one was the one that really, really got me. I was like, damn.
Yeah, this was sad. Like I was like, what? It was the time. Like, who wakes up and like decides that this is what I'm gonna do? Um, a father's choice. Baby, you did the right thing. Um, After these two unalivings, Wade just decides, you know what? I need help. Let me reach out to my dad. Because if anybody's going to have my back, my biological dad, he's going to help me. I was like, who did you think your dad was? Like, I was really curious about his entire family dynamic that you thought that you could call, and not just call in a frantic way. Oh my God, dad, I can't believe he called to boast.
Mhm.
And I'm not understanding. I'm glad that the father did what he did, because if he hadn't, they were still looking for him. It wasn't really any haste movement to me. And in that short span of what he did, he could have did so much more in a 24-hour day. I don't even know. But he called his dad to boast about what he did. Dad says he's flabbergasted, shocked, disgusted at this point, but he's still trying to keep his son on the phone and get information as far as where he is. And he's contemplating with, should I call the police or help my son? This is my son. And of course, we opt to call the police because I had to stop you, son. Um, I wanted to go ahead and tie dad into the you weren't raised this way narrative. Dad said I was a teen father, 14 and 15, so was his mother. We weren't ready. He was given up for adoption, and it was just that. And of course, later on, we hear about the adoption, and a lot of people are using this, and even Wade, as his breaking point, because he realized that he was adopted. But prior to that, it was squeaky clean. Squeaky clean living, Christian life. He was, the people of the people, a good boy. I don't buy that. I just don't. Nothing about Wade ever screams squeaky anything. And I am so sorry. No child deserves to be lied to or whatever about who they're biological. That's no excuse for you to just, even down. It's like between this and the fact that he was an active drug user, because Wade was gonna get the drugs. This was just enough to just put him in a whirlwind in his life, to where we're offending, going to jail multiple times, we're raping, we're robbing, probably unaliving other people that we don't know about, and it's because I was adopted and no one told me. And now I feel unwanted. And he wasn't raised this way. But as your dad, as much as I love you, because we have that phone call from Joe also, and he's like, yeah, they told me how they found me. Like, really, dad? Why would you want me in here? Why would you do this? Like, why would you do what you did? I had to make a choice. I love you, son, but I had to turn you in. Why did you take those women's lives? I need answers. Like, dad helped as much as he could, even when it came to trying to get information as far as Diana's body. We got to it prior to that, but the fact that he was trying to use it as some type of levity or leverage to get a cheeseburger some fries before he went in because I'm not going to be eating that in a long time. Just a really sick individual. But actually, how did you feel about the dad in Wade's Christian upbringing? Because we didn't raise you to be like this. Not your good, adoptive parents. How could that break him down to the point that he went out and just lost his mind after high school, I guess?
Not the adopted parents who would only call in, wouldn't even be their faces weren't even shown on this
Oh,
documentary. Wasn't no real face-to-face interview with his adopted people. They said we wash our hands of this sicko. But no, you're not gonna make me believe he wasn't torturing goldfish and pinching babies and
goldfish.
doing wild stuff when he was a kid. No, 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 no.
That's
Because
what he did.
this doesn't just happen overnight. Like you hatch these types of creatures, and I don't know if it was the dope his mama was doing because when they on drugs or something, it was like a storied past with his bio parents allegedly, from what I remember. And so no, I don't think I can look at his little boy picture and tell that little boy was crazy. Back then, this was a good son, like literally. And I just think they failed to get him help. Something interesting that the dad says, and the dad had, I think, his whole life of crime as well. He had done
Hmm.
his stints in prison. I think that phone call was really about, oh, my dad will now respect me, like as a man. Probably not equating his crimes to whatever his dad did. And we don't know the daddy's charges, but we know that this phone call was heinous enough for his dad to be like, let me call somebody. But what was very telling was the dad, even when he's being interviewed in this doc, says, I was always afraid you were going to do this. I think he's talking to him on one of those jail calls. And he's like,
Hmm.
we always thought you were going to do this. We were always thought you were going to do this. And my thing is, if you already had clues and a thought that he was going to do this, why was there no intervention? Because I don't
Well,
think these were
Riz.
the first bodies that he's caught. Like, there's no
Mm-mm.
way. I think there's bodies yet to be found. And the fact that y'all knew he was murderous and homicidal and took no action. And I know there's no such thing as like the thought police, like Minority Report or anything like that. But I really do feel like there was something you could have done, a 5150 hold, get him evaluated for being a psychopath, something medicated, if that would have made a difference. I think there were options that we had before it got to this level. There were definitely warning signs, but I will commend Dad. I know he got a lot of flack from people, from those
Hmm.
lunatics online. He got a lot of fat flack probably from family. Like, you're supposed to be his father. Yeah, but also I have a responsibility for public safety at some point. Because I mean, if I know, and that makes him what, accessory after the fact, if he would have tried to cover up for his son. So was it all altruistic, thinking about the public? I'm not sure. This may have been kind of half and half, but he knew his son was a lunatic, and I'm glad he did more than
They
some.
all did. They all did. Even Stepmama Candy, who was just a quick little voiceover and didn't want to be on camera. Like them people didn't want to be so as much as they care and go easy on him. He's still that boy that we raised. There's a side that you guys don't know. Consider that when you're giving the sentencing. You didn't even want to show your face. You didn't want anybody to see you. Like you mean to tell me just that one time I allowed open communication in a letter from his mom, and that just kind of opened a door that he was never able to close, and ever since that moment it was giving, why didn't they want me? Oh, I
Okay, then why
just
didn't you get him help then? Since the door opened then and
because
his
they
behavior took
can't.
a
They
sharp
don't want
turn.
to. Between Candy, that ex Mila, this dad, admitting something about him is admitting something about themselves. And that's the longer we can sit and pretend, not my son. Well, he has this moment. I mean, at one point, at this point, Wade's 25? Like, we're 25 once we've apprehended and done these things. But prior to that, oh, he was in trouble all his life, all his, like, from senior year on through, crime after crime. And it ain't no little petty misdemeanors. Like, you're
No.
just getting off. And that's once again tying into his attractiveness.
Mhm.
Why are you doing all of these things and you're getting a slap on the wrist? You're getting out, you're raping, you're robbing, you're stealing, you're probably on everything you could possibly do, and you just keep getting off. And then it's not until our first note, because I feel like he's done other things that we just aren't aware of, that it's like, okay, now he must be stopped. It shouldn't have got to this extreme. Everybody felt the situation. Nobody did what they were supposed to do, because we know people who get locked up, like, and I mean locked up, and it's not for no 2 to 3 years for less.
That
I don't
part.
know.
He has
I
like
don't know.
vicious essays and things like in his past, like they're, but I mean, that boils down to privilege. And unfortunately, he was subject to a couple different types of privilege, right?
Yeah.
Just based on who he was, how he carried himself. I'm sure his adopted family had a level of means that we're not aware of, but there's still a lot that they didn't tell in this doc. There's still a lot they didn't tell because this didn't happen overnight. Mm-mm.
Oh
No,
Lord. Imagine if he was blonde with blue eyes. Would really
no,
been over. Would probably got off. Got a little help. Let's leave this Christian here. He's a good Christian boy. Oh, I can't believe I'm trying to pretend that this day isn't here and it's not actually happening because not my way. So what? This way that we watching right now? This was a good Christian boy. Now, by the time we get locked up, we go through a transformation. Now, before we get into the ultimate Wade wife, who was there on the front row all about her man, we get all these tattoos and we have all these calls and all these women. Now, prior to us ever really hitting those TikTok streets and going viral, and not even just in America, like international, this man is known everywhere and people pleading, not Wade, he's innocent, free him. Before that, we already had a little miniature fan club. Now we already know. And I'm like, where do you it's not even a question. Like, I know where you find these women, but the fact that he could have just a call sheet of women that we're gonna call, spew that same rhetoric, baby, I need you, baby, I want you, I'm gonna put a baby in you, I want that hot meal, I want that hot sex, I want that, I'm gonna do da 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 da. Oh, you look so good, put some money on my books, call after call after call after call after call, and these hoes are there. Like, they are there, that's happening. But in the midst of us being locked up and making sure we have some money, I'm like, everybody knows, like, ain't nobody gonna tell you what you want to hear more than a ninja behind some bars. They don't have nothing. They don't have nothing else to do. You
and
gonna
nothing
fall for the
to
banana in
do.
the tailpipe? They don't have anything else to do. But he had it, and he had them, so the money's fine. But in the midst of the trial, we decide to go above the neck area and get all these face tattoos, all these random things, like racial things, derogatory things, very only God can judge me type tats, and get this little skeletal Joker. Like, actually, why do you think this crazy? Because via before this, he's protesting his innocence. All the way to eventually we get to a point. I don't want to be prejudged off of my tattoos. I should probably get some makeup and cover this up. But I'm going to continue to get them, and I'm going to show up at trial like this, and I'm also going to play in these women's face. Why did this man transform even more if we were just so innocent?
Part of me was like, I really think that like he lived in a level, or he lives in a level of like delusion, like that no matter what I do, I'm
I'm gonna get
still
off.
going to be, I'm still that, you know what I mean? I'm still that one. So I think part of it is that. I also think this very much gave politics, like how they talk about there's politics in jail, like as far
Mm.
as affiliations, things like that. I think that was probably a part of it. And maybe some level of bravado that he was trying to put off to the other inmates in the Pinta, because apparently he was getting in trouble in there too. He was probably trying to take people booties and everything, Tyra,
Oh
allegedly,
yeah.
in my
Oh yeah.
opinion, in there. And I think this probably just made him look more menacing. But I also just feel like he thought he could do whatever he wanted to do, and he was
Mhm.
still going to get I don't know. In my mind, I'm like, did he really in some way believe he could have ever gotten out? Or was he
Yes.
really resigned to the fact that no, this is going to be? I mean, when he was talking to his dad, he's like, "Yes, they're they're going to keep you forever." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So part of me was like, he was just like, "F it." But I do think some of it was politics and just like the prison culture that he was trying to. Because why would you get this swast? Why would you get that? If everything else, why? All right, okay,
I
all right.
don't know. These tats are just like, first of all, he's cocky as hell. He's a very cocky person. But this is like the ultimate manipulator, that narcissism. He's always, especially on those calls, he's very indulgent. It's all very me, me, me. Me, me, me. What they all about? Oh my man, it's all everything is all about him. Even like you said, there was no remorse. It's like, oh man, they got me in here. Like I told them I was high. Like what they want me to do? How could they do this to me? Now I got to lose out on my life because I took out a couple of women. Like, it really ain't that deep. This is a very sick individual. So all the heifers on those phones, I don't give a damn what you did. What you need, daddy?
I don't care. It wasn't me. I don't care. I don't care what you did to them.
Where's the proof? Who said it? Cause you mine. That's mine. I
Talking about
can't.
he didn't get a fair trial. His lawyers weren't doing. There's nothing to do. Like, what do you mean? He didn't confess. He done told the people. What do you want his lawyers to do?
I don't know.
Talking
I
about
really
getting a
think
fair
that,
trial.
like you said, this was something where he wanted to present a certain way because they actively say it in the doc that he was a menace around the jail. Anybody who was a bump, we had to eventually isolate and put him by himself because he kept trying to physically assault in every single way his roommate. Like, this is a sick person. Like, what are you hoes thinking about? Let's go to the ultimate, because though he had multiples, we decided to flaunt one in the stock. We had Alexis. Um,
Dingy.
Alexis with the big face up front at every single trial, every day there amongst all the women in the Wade wives in defense, putting money on books or what is it, commissary or whatever they would call it in this doc, because it wasn't commissary, it's called something else. Making sure he JY fly Gucci down to the socks, so make sure you clean and there. And I appreciated her being here because you really get into the delusion and the psyche of a woman who's willing to be here through this. Alexis isn't someone that he met on the outside, unlike Miss Mila. No, you met her inside. There was a photo exchange. You know, hey, my boy is locked up. I'm gonna send him your photo. You send him like, oh, okay, I like what I see. Let me go see. So you really didn't do that? So you're innocent? Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gonna be here for whatever you want, whatever you need, when you need it, until you get out. Cause I believe you. She was so proud. She was so proud. And it was so funny, like when we have the moment where the defense decides to kind of throw a little salt on his game. Yeah, but do you really think you're the only one he's talking to?
That
Do you
part.
not? No. Well, anyway, I'm still number one. It's still all about me. Them other heifers don't matter. I'm the main one. I'm here. I feel like this is the ultimate predator. We were making sure to go after a certain kind of woman, a certain kind of look, a certain level of self esteem and self worth. Somebody that he could manipulate to do whatever, because it didn't require much. She was just happy that someone that attractive would even be into her, to where she's willing to go and sacrifice and kind of be naive to what she's hearing. There is no way. I don't give a damn what he told you on the phone. Once you get the facts, it's like it's very bold. He's very honest. He is not like he tried to lie until after the fact about how things occurred, what happened. The moment they arrest him, okay, if you give me a cheeseburger, I might let you know where her remains are. Like, yeah, I did it. Okay, whatever. But at the same breath, oh no, that was fixed. I didn't do that. Well, I actually had sex. When this one, I don't know if it was her, but one of them heifers on the phone said, well, I can understand if you had sex with her and there was some strangulation, but it's not your fault that she couldn't take the strangulation or just like the rough sex that you like. Like, stuff happens. Like, she just died. I was like, these hoes are wild. These hoes are wild. Like, I just can't. Ashley, what did you think about Miss Alexis here and her devotion to her man Wade?
It honestly feels like spell work. It really feels like witchcraft and wizardry, in my opinion, because there's no way in a person's rational mind you can meet this man and he's got heinous crimes against women and you say, this is the one I want. He's got hate groups paired like all over his face, like, and you're like, oh yeah, this is who I want to have around my kids, because not only is Alexis his future wife, but she's also a mother to children, to little children. And this is who you were going to have in your home after 10-15 years, when he, because I don't think he told me he didn't do it. So, even if he gets this little manslaughter charge, that'll be what, 10-15 years. I was going to hold him down. I was going to wait.
Yeah,
And even sitting through the trial, like, yeah, because I'm crying, I'm looking over at him and he's got this smug, look on his face. But, I had to stay. I had to keep going. I had to keep buying him Prada Gucci loafers and all of those things until the trial was over, just to kind of see. I had to see it through. Did you? Did you really have to see it through? Like, to me, there's nothing, even if she was really that naive and gullible in the beginning, I really feel like once you got the proof and the evidence of what he said, that's it. I don't need to know nothing else. I'll read about it in the paper. You will never hear from them again. Like, something, but it still just never gave that. It still very much gave, yeah, I still have it.
he's proud.
I still to this day, You
Proud.
still
I think
had
she lied. I think she lied. She claims here, I just want to go on with my life and not be associated with him or the case anymore. I burned everything he ever gave me. No, you didn't.
She was so proud reading his jailhouse letters that had the swastikas all over him. Look, see, that's what he said. Wade's wife down here, and it's got the little what? Like that. That's still it's still making you giddy. Like he will unalive you. Like if he will take you out. Like y'all aren't getting this. Like it's crazy. That is it's spell
They
work. It's
don't
gotta be.
care.
There's no
They said,
way.
"Oh yeah, you sexy bee. I just want to choke you and bite you and make you bleed. I can't wait to get out of here. I'm gonna do so many things to you, and then we're gonna eat food." What? It's just like,
Yeah,
"Oh
baby.
yeah, I can't wait." What?
And then you're gonna put that thing on me. Yeah, baby. I'm like, where are we getting this from?
Ashley, please. I don't know, and I'm like, you couldn't even just pay me to be there, sitting front row and center, like you said, you're a mother. You're what? You being associated with this man says more about you than it does about him. It's very
And the fact that
questionable.
the rest of his hoes are right behind you, cheering him on the whole time. Like you don't know. Like he's communicating with all of you hoes at the same time. And it
She's the
still was
bottom hoe.
like,
She's
but
the
it's still,
bottom.
I bought those shoes he's
I
wearing.
bought
I
those
bought those
shoes.
drawers.
The suit. It was very hello Shirley. This is Barbara. Hello Barbara. This is Shirley. You
Every
see that
piece of
man in
booty
there,
meat.
girl, girl.
Possible. That's what she said. That's what Barbara said.
I just can't. But she claims that it took for Diana's son to take the stand, and that lack of emotion and empathy that Wade was giving to him. That's when I knew I just couldn't go forward, and I had to leave. It took
But
that.
she stayed going to the trial. She stayed until the trial was concluded. Like,
I don't know. She said he does die protest the innocence, because I know he did some of it, but that's just a little manslaughter charge, right? 10, 15 years. I can wait for you. Now, maybe once it hits the net, it's over. It's up and it's stuck. And then he's the Deadpool killer because his name is Wade Wilson, just like the movie. You know, you love social media and you love a good TikTok, but then you don't. Because where you would have these fandoms, this has always been present. And we've seen them follow and protest and support and do whatever they can ever since the likes of a Manson or whomever before. To have it like this where they can communicate so efficiently and rally together, this is terrible. This is terrible. These Wade wives. Now, of course, naturally, you have the people who are so-called haters. Anybody who's supporting Wade, that the haters over there who are saying that this man is guilty of sin, no lies were told, he deserves everything he gets because he took these women's lives. Yeah, let me know when the death is happening so we can all be front row and center. This is a dangerous man. There's 1,000 other women, mostly women, men too. Let's not forget about that because we heard them calls from the man. Yeah, baby, what you need? You want some pizza? Let me send you some money. What you need? You need 20? I'm gonna send you 25, daddy. Cause yeah, I gotta make sure you're just so attractive. Say, man, get off the phone. Get off the phone, sir. We hit TikTok and it's newsworthy. So we're reporting, we're talking about it. But outside of that, and the people just covering the trial, this fandom of Wade wives and Wade supporters just emerged. And the way the way that they were acting behind this man was wild. I could get with this because it's normal. What took me out is the 100K GoFundMe. You disturbed folks sent this man 100K. 100K for some soups and cookies and honey buns and whatever else you get. 100K, Ashley. And
girl,
you
so this
know,
was that, but then he had people putting money on his books in addition to this.
yeah, everybody was sending whatever, but this is just that. And the fact that he knew, that's why he knew that he could sit pretty. I can get whatever I want in my face, do whatever I want, move how I want to, because there's support out there. We hear him talking on the phone. I love how he was just talking like them. Like those calls were private, like you're not on a recorded line. It's just like, yeah, oh yeah, dad, I can't wait. Y'all talking to the women. Y'all rarely get those fan clubs,
Yeah.
get those women together.
We're gonna
Once
send the
we
money.
set up the GoFundMe, even the people who can't stand me, they're gonna send money too. Like the people, it's just gonna be a thing. Like people are gonna be invested, and he knew. It's sick that he knew that he could do this, and people would still support and show up in a big way. We know righteous causes, if you will, that can't get a dime.
A
This
dollar.
sick individual here, 100K just to sit your rotund ass up in somebody's prison for what you did. The outpour online, save Wade Wilson, all of that. That these it's the women like you just expect more. You want more, and you want people to realize it could easily have been you and consider the victims here. Not how fine and attractive you think that this man is with his dead. I don't see the attractiveness. I'm sorry. Even before this, I don't see it. I see a dead person, soulless, dead eyes. He looks uncouth. He looks dangerous. I don't know. I don't see it, but they just see him in all of the thirst trap TikToks to the backdrops of music and him flaunting himself through the court in his suits and oh he's living for it. He's living for the virality. Oh yes, baby, this time get me a red tie and a black suit and I need some Gucci penny loafers and yeah, I'm eating down on TikTok. The hoes gonna love this, and they did. This is sad. This is sick. Actually, why they get this man his they money?
I don't know why these dumb hoes did that. And it just go and it's very weird because I think it's pervasive like in the culture of like womandom now. I'm like, this man literally has committed heinous crimes, firstly against women, but then also what does he have to offer you? What does he have to
Nothing.
offer you? And it's just because he's got this Joker tattoo on his face and he's
He
six
tall.
four. Like
Mhm.
I can't wrap my head around it, and the fact that they are like negating the victimhood of the women who lost their lives. Oh, he needs a retrial. He's being unjustly imprisoned. Free him. Like this is the part, like I said, screw him. This is the part that really disturbed me because at what point do women just care about women? Like you don't you
Yeah.
we are each other. Like I don't understand the concept of being with someone you know for a fact has committed these types of crimes against women and still going up for 'em, making videos, making t-shirts, talking about y'all are the Wade's Wives Club and it's really, and then to put your money behind it, you hoes, you Dizzy Dames deserve everything you get going forward because there's no way you can contribute to this and expect to reap any goodness. Like anything good. Nothing good is coming from this. Like, repent, damn it. This is terrible, Tyra. I was so literally disturbed by this fandom. And it's like they were attacking people. They said they
Yeah.
were attacking the people who testified, like his dad
Mhm.
coming after him.
Doxing people, all
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
anybody who exposed him or talked about him, they were like,
Yeah. Yeah. The way that Mila, she thought those somebody burnt down her beauty salon or her spa because they were trying to get at her for testifying. I'm not surprised. I'm just this is why girl codes and all that. I don't believe that stuff exists. Women supporting women. That it only goes so far. Some people do abide by that, and so many others don't. I understand the ones who were here just attached for the virality, and I'm trying to get some views, and I'm covering every inch of this case. But the outright support enough to send your money, I love how so much of them was anonymous. Like, you want nobody to know? Why do you want nobody to know? You sent it. This is anonymous
yeah,
and
put your name
thousands.
on it.
$2,000 donation. You get a car. I'm sending 1,000. I'm sending 500 in support of this man because maybe this will make him feel better. Maybe this will keep him comfortable in jail. Maybe he can get some new and some real good lawyers to really be on his side and plead his case to where he might get out because he's innocent. Don't you see how tall he is? How handsome look how good he looks. He couldn't hurt anybody.
And
And I
Dane,
love that what happened?
I was gonna say, and Dane, yeah, Luigi is getting the same type of treatment from what I
Oh
hear.
yeah. I just love how he even went against the beauty of it all and how handsome he is. He strips that away slowly as the trial progresses, and he just looks so manic and crazy. It literally looks like Joker without all the paint. And like, oh, he just looks. I'm still. It's like, and these hoes still eat me up. this just, I feel like this validated exactly who he thought he was to how he even ended up in here. This is a narcissist. This is a manipulating, sick individual. And y'all catered to his ego because I still got you hoes in here. I ain't giving y'all nothing. Half of you bitches ain't getting a phone call.
Mhm.
This is sad. I hate everybody.
It's terrible. It really is. It's so terrible.
I hate it so much. I was like, oh my god, I hate it. 100K. Wow. But we get to the nitty gritty of the trial, and of course, prosecution is seeking the death penalty naturally, and it's being protest. They fighting tooth and nail in here. They already feel like we're gotta, win and get these jurors on our side. We hear from one or two of the jurors who were really just feeling like they could see through him, and he didn't show any remorse or emotion for the victims. He was, shooting daggers at the fact that they kept having to switch jurors and change things around because people didn't want to be in the same room with him because of the energy. We keep hearing that this whole doc about this energy and this essence and like this sinister vibe that was just coming off of him. Even by the arresting officer, she was like, I didn't really want to be alone with him in the room. It's just something, it's like something waiting, something really uneasy. Child, we have them seeking this out. And like you said, the Wade wives, amongst other supporters, they feel like the lawyers are working against him. The lawyers was in there fighting for their lives. They knew they had nothing. You had already, you've been caught. The evidence is in abundance. You confessed, and we're sitting here, but they're like, yeah, do you see how they're not allowing him to speak on his behalf? They're not objecting to anything. Why aren't we considering those lawyers? Why aren't you guys considering his childhood trauma? Don't you know how he grew up? Don't you know he was adopted and they lied to him? And then we get into the possible CTE like brain disease, because we're going to throw that in there. I love how they keep throwing that at everything. It's not always that. But for all those reasons, the Wade lover side wants you consider just, okay, well, just let him just like live out his life and his good days, even if he's going to be in prison. So that way he has time to work on getting out and protesting his innocence. But in the meantime, y'all just going to put him on death row? Like, why aren't you considering everything he's been through? Like, and he's low key really innocent. He didn't get a fair trial. I don't know how many times in a little 3-episode doc that we like, would you like to say anything? Would you like to testify? Would you like to take the stand, Wade? No. No, he said no every single time. Of course, we changed our tune towards the end, but he didn't have anything to say because he already knew what he did, and he was too busily reveling in the idea of being Mr. TikTok and him being the new sensation. He was having a good time until he wasn't. Ashley, the system, not just the whole situation here in the courtroom, the system, from the parents, the police, the adoptee, the officers, the system failed Wade Wilson. Okay.
Yeah, no. What I will say, I think, is that the people who were supposed to care for him and get him the help that he needed early, they listen, they failed the population. They failed these two women who lost their lives. Damn it. That's who they failed by not getting him the help that he needed much, much earlier. Or even at least making the attempts to. Here's the thing. He need to be in there. He need to be exactly where he is right now, on the row, on the Green Mile. That's exactly where he needs to be. It just was so, I don't know, when the lawyer got up there and his lawyer and said, listen, we know he's a dirtball. He's terrible. Look what he did to these women. All we're saying is he don't need to go to the chair for it. I said, okay, we know what. And I think that's the only route that his lawyers could have gone. These were good lawyers, listen, paid for by the general public and the fans. These weren't just Joe Schmo lawyers. They knew what time it was. They saw what it was going to be. It's like, so how do we just make it so he doesn't get the chair? And so they approach it from the fact that, yeah, he is a monster, y'all. He is, but this is why he's a monster. Them lawyers did more than their job, in my opinion, because I would have never taken his case. But no, hell no, the system didn't fail Wade. His people might have failed the general public, but didn't nobody fail Wade. I don't want to hear it.
I just love how they tried it. And we always know with these type of situations, we're going to go for the brain and the mind and the insanity plea. Like, he wasn't all there. Because that was his favorite. I was on drugs. And that's the best thing that Mila had to say. Yeah, a lot of people are on drugs. They don't go around killing people. Like,
well, then you was high, but had the wherewithal to flirt with a woman, charm a woman, get back to a woman's home, and then show your true colors.
Try to discard of the body.
That ain't no.
evade arrest, running around. The only
Yeah.
thing that made him look off was his erratic behavior and the fact that he was running around with no shirt on. Like other than that, we were doing what we needed to do. We called. We sound real sensible via those phone calls with Dad. Get down,
Hmm.
baby. Just living his
Fully
best
aware.
life. I don't know. I don't like how they try to play with it. I'm not. You're not gonna throw that CTE on everybody. You're not. Ever since AA Ron Hernandez, everybody got a little piece of CTE and they need to be evaluated before we do some sentencing. Go away. Go away. Not saying that can't be the case with some, but that is not the case for all. But by the time we go to, sit out our time, baby, that's all you had going for you.
Mhm.
That's all you had going for you, beloved. I would think with him pretending to be as smart as he was or as smart as he thought he was, the investment in the public from the Wade wives and anybody else who was just on your side was solely because they found you attractive. They didn't care too much about protesting your innocence and his childhood and consider what he's been through. You're gaining weight. Your teeth are falling out. That build is not what it once was. You look unhealthy. Your hair is damaged. I would
Your
think you would
hair's
have.
uneven. You look dusty. You're fat. Your teeth are falling out. You look corroded. Your skin's dusty. It's falling off. You're
Yeah,
losing your
it's
hairline.
it's bad. It's bad. They say you can't even be in Gen Pop. You wrong so many people. You can't have a cellmate. You tried to victimize them as well. You're in there being the ultimate nasty prisoner. Like you have no choice but to be alone. You're alone, losing your mind because now he's into conspiracies and they're out to get me. They put something in my food. They're listening in like crazy, absolutely crazy. And now it kind of feels like he's grasping because okay, yeah, I'm gonna make this art. Yeah, sign it. The hoes gonna love this because they're clamoring for me. He thinks he's a star. Y'all ballooned his head up in his ego to the fact that I can draw some things. Anything I put my name on, my signature, they gonna eat it up and buy it. That's gonna reimburse. How much you need now? You got 100K. How many honey buns can you get?
That's what I was trying to figure
How
out.
much were those lawyers? But we're also getting into these losses because baby, he said he lost and it was wrong. I felt played. The lawyers, they weren't on my side. I protest. I need a retrial. I need to overturn this conviction. I didn't speak because I was instructed not to. But since I'm in here, I need y'all to know that I was set up. I need all the Wade lovers around the world to know that I was set up. Um, they planted those things, the whole body. He tried to throw Mila in there, said that he didn't sexually assault the victim, and she took his seed and put it there and planted it, and it was just all of these outlandish stories, just lies. But now he's pouring, trying to get into his victimhood because I was set up and I need a retrial. Not even just getting off of death row and getting this death penalty. No, I just need to be free. Free me because I didn't do this, and I need y'all to believe in that. Stay on my side. Keep sending that money. Keep sending that support. Keep making those phone calls. Because your boy is innocent. I'm going to get out real soon. POP, hold it down. And he's, once again, I'm sure blowing through that money, hiring more lawyers because now I need to get out because I'm innocent. Actually, why are we wasting away? Why wouldn't we hang on to the only thing we had going for us since that's what the hose was caring about? Now you're not even attractive.
Yeah, they say the well done dried up. According to what I hear, he can't get nothing now. He's dwindled away to looking how he's looking, toe up, a toothless wonder, and can't do much of anything. I just saw an article from 2 days ago that says he's still on the row, awaiting his due date. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like this is the rise and fall. I feel like he's finally embodied who he was on the inside at this point. And I really do feel like it was inevitable by consciously or not. I think that had to come out, that had to play out. You're not always going to be able to rest on your laurels and reside in this perceived beauty or bad boy image that you have. At this point, it's just ridiculous. And hopefully the masses get it now. I haven't really done a temperature check because, like I said, I didn't want to even approach this thing because I was so disgusted. But yeah, he just looks like who he always was on the inside now.
I just was like, maybe this all you got in there is time. The most you could be doing is working out and trying to keep the only thing that's all you had. Now that's gone, and you still think people are gonna be breaking their neck. Let's really get into your victimhood and oh my childhood and the trauma, and let's see who really cares now. Now that you looking the way you looking, where they at? They gone. They're gone for the most part from what we can see, and I'm sure that money has completely dwindled. If you stay trying to play lawyers to trying to get out or get an easier, lighter sentence, girl, please. I'm over it. Ashley, do you have any closing thoughts about the handsome killer?
I will say this just to TP's comment, how shallow the world is, get a little doughy and the calls stop coming. I honestly think that what drove it, and just similarly, like with Charlie Manson, it was the notoriety, it was like the sensationalism of it while it was happening, it was the excitement of all of those things. And I feel like once that died down, you know he's going to be on the road. I'm sure he probably has a few, like, handful of diehard people who are still writing them and doing all those things. It's real sickos. But everybody else, I think, was probably just riding the wave. They wanted to be seen at the courthouse. They wanted to be seen in his t-shirt. They wanted to be seen in proximity to him when he was at, I guess the height of all of this. And that's died down. Again, I pray for the victims and their families and hope that they can somehow recover and gain some normalcy in the life. I pray for these hoes that they get their minds right and can move forward, because there's no way. And I think dad is probably still in contact with him, and I hope at some point he'll be able to sleep at night, because I mean you have to hold some sort of responsibility in that you brought this person into the world and you knew what they were capable of before they did it. But I mean, I think dad did what he could do, but that's all I got for these people. This really vexed me. And like I said, not so much him, because we know that this type of evil exists in the world. It was really just around the women who came up to bat for him, to rally behind him and support him in all of this. I just can't wrap my head around it.
TP said, "Get a little doughy, get a little, get a little Pillsbury, and you hoes stop calling." I don't know, especially for these women. I wouldn't even want to sit here through this. I would be doing my double due diligence to act like I never knew this man. I would want for them to, when I want to go on and just live my life. And I don't know, maybe they got a little pretty penny to be here, live my life. And I want to forget it. How could someone burn down, or, a freak accident that burned down my spy? And I just want to go and be a beautician and a makeup artist and forget I ever knew it. I burnt everything, all those letters. You're keeping everything. You got every single thing that this man ever sent you in a shoebox, hidden. Like, dad here, child. Dad says he has to be content and wake up every morning with the thought of his son on death row and eventually proceeding with those death penalties and losing his life. Dad, there's okay. I don't know. I'm sure that it's a different light when it's your own son, but it just feels like something that could have been stopped. So it's like, if you really cared and you guys, down to stepmama Candy or these girlfriends, or we even go back to like high school girlfriends, she has tats and his initials, and and even in high school he wasn't a like really really good guy. He had ways, but he was. So why are you guys sitting here lying, talking about how great he was? Why are you lying? And I don't want they sitting here reminiscing. Or remember that one time in band camp when he was 7 back in elementary? Yeah, no. This person has been sick and you guys ignored it, and this is what happened. Hopefully this encourages someone else. If you see these type of tendencies present, you get active and you do something about it before they do something out of character. And it's like, well, we always, oh, I felt it in my bones that you would do something. Any two ways. As a mother, a friend, or whomever, if I feel like, oh, you one of them, I need to call somebody. I need to help you to not hurt other people and not hurt yourself. You make that damn call, or else somebody's gonna be making a different kind of call to tell you what your child or your whomever did. I'd rather take my chances and make the call. I don't know.
I am glad dad mitigated the damage. I am glad he called, and I can appreciate that, because some parents wouldn't call. Some mothers wouldn't call.
Let him. It's always one of them raggedy mothers. I swear. My baby ain't never did nothing to nobody. He's a good boy. He's a good Christian. He ain't never hurt nobody. Free my son. Girl, what? It's always somebody funky ass mama.
You know what it
I
is. We all know.
I hate it so much. Like, thankfully, it wasn't that. Because who can even say what if we tried to call stepmama Candy? I don't know. Candy Gibbs bringing shame to the family name. Did anybody see you, son? Because I don't want this attached to me. I don't want to be seen. Let's get you some help. Come on home, baby. You know you can always come home. Mama gonna always be here. Them mamas gonna come home. Them whole little jailhouse phone calls, they would have went totally different if it was one of them mamas. Them mamas gonna stick by their sons. It's
Every
trash. And
time.
I love my son, but I don't love my son like that. That was the discussion. That was the discussion. Hopefully, you guys had a good time. Please leave commentary below as far as what you thought about this doc. And yeah, are you gonna put some money on that man books if he go down? Cause you get locked up, don't call me. I ain't coming. I ain't coming.
Keep him.
Actually, anything that keep him. That felt very Robin. Keep him, cause we don't need you. It's like, okay. Ashley, anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Yes, please. Thank you guys so much for coming through and supporting the live tonight. I know this was kind of heavier topics, but thank you guys for coming through. Be sure to hype, do all the things. Please check out my Bridgerton review for part 1 of season 4. That's up. Do that. Please go back to our 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days live earlier this week. It was such a fun time. It's hilarious. Go, please run it up. It was a good time. But no, thank y'all. And make sure you're subscribed, have the notification bell on. We've got lives lined up. Just make sure you're there. Be there, be square.
Well, y'all, I do not have. You remember like those old school like news anchor moments where they'd be like, "Back to you, Bob," and everything will pan out, and the mics go, and they just turn. They be just talking. So Ashley and I are going to turn mid camera and talk, and y'all act like we're ending the video. Back to you, Bob. Thank you.